This week's episode is sponsored by the Running Algorithm, your one-stop solution for running coaching. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Talking Triathlon, a podcast where James Bale talks to Tim Ford about the sport of triathlon. However, this week, it's barely
Do
Tim
I though?
Ford. It's barely Tim Ford. James Bale got somebody else because I'm about to jump on a plane and head to Europe for the Ironman World Championships men's race happening in Nice, France this weekend. Jimbo, mate, how you going?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Yeah, life is. We've just recorded the bonus episode, which is a audio only podcast. So I'd got used to not having to smile, but now I'm back in people can see me mode. So my enthusiasm has to show through my face. So here I am. I'm up for it, mate. I've already recorded the main part of this episode the other day with Lizzie Rayner, who's going to be doing a complete preview of Nice Ironman World Championship, the men's race this weekend with me. So all you and I need to do are the intro and outro. How are you, mate?
Getting ready to jump on a 24-hour flight to Europe. So just loving life, mate. There's nothing more I love than sitting on an airplane for a day. It's just, I mean, you know what? I guarantee you that when I'm laying on my deathbed, hopefully in many, many, many years, I'm going to be going, God, I'm so happy I spent so much time of my life on airplanes. No, I'm looking forward to getting to Nice. It'll be good. I haven't been there for 2 years. Last time I was there, it was hot as balls. So I'm hoping that maybe it isn't nearly 40 degrees this time. I'm staying in a hotel this time, so the air conditioning is a guarantee. Thank God, because it nearly killed me last time. But I'm only in Nice, I think, for 5 days this year. Last time I was there for nearly 2 weeks. So a shorter trip. I'm hoping it'll give me a bit more steam. We have the Norwegians racing, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, I'm in good spirits. I will be in much better spirits once I'm there, not looking down the barrel of 24 hours on an airplane.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
both got a pretty rubbish 24, 48 hours coming up for different reasons. But I think once we finish recording here, it's going to, by the time I come up for air, it's going to be Friday morning, I think.
And then it's nothing but Ironman weekend, mate. So you can get excited about that.
Nothing but Ironman weekend. So
It's
are we gonna do our picks after we come back from the Lizzie? Um,
Yes, I believe so. Did you guys
okay.
cover much news or was it just because I haven't listened? Was it just the
Yeah, no, I just had a chat with Lizzie about what she's up to, her
cool?
journey, where she is, and then we talked about Nice, and that was it.
Well, like, but obviously, so we are then gonna. There's one thing I want to cover with you just quickly before we jump into that, which we've already. So we've just recorded our bonus episode for last month. Um, Good opportunity, like patreon.com//
Before
talking triathlon.
before no, you go ahead. We'll do this. I'll do that at the end. You go ahead.
$5 a month gets you the bonus shows like the one we just recorded, WhatsApp group, all that stuff. Thank you. We've had a number of people join the last couple of weeks. So thank you all for joining. We really appreciate the support. Really great community. One of the things we discussed at length in this week's Patreon episode, and much more than we're gonna, is the news that Pro Tri News broke last week. I think they've done a very, very good job with this story, to be honest. And that was the news that Hayden Wilde used the non-approved Asics shoes at both the London T100 and the French Riviera T100. Now, again, we've discussed this like a lot on the bonus episodes. So if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty with us, that's the place to go. But I just wanted to, I guess, talk about it, get some brief thoughts. And now I'm just going to pull up the post where it basically said World Triathlon has confirmed teams at the ASICS Metaspeed are not authorized for WTCS competition before September 11th under World Athletics approval process. Yeah, basically Hayden and I think Sam Long, maybe Hayden used them for a number of times. Hayden has put out a
Sam Long used them
statement.
in London, I think, and then Hayden, it appears, used them in Freixo.
Hayden put out a statement as well. I don't know if you've seen it, where he said, since the start of the year, I've been racing in the approved ASICS prototype shoe, including during my win at T100 London. To be clear, those prototypes were fully approved and listed with World Athletics as they are fully compliant with all technical regulatory requirements. At the weekend, however, I raced in the new Metaspeed Ray, believing it was the same prototype I've been using all season. It was an honest mistake I only raced after the race. Well, my partner Asics emailed me in due time with the instructions around the use of the shoe and other shoe prototypes. I misunderstood the message and didn't realize it was applied to the shoes I raced in. That was my mistake. As a professional athlete, it is my responsibility to make sure the equipment I use is fully approved and I take full accountability for not double checking. Both shoes have the exact same technical specifications and meet the World Athletics technical requirements. I'm grateful for my team's support and I look forward to racing at T100s in Valencia. I'll definitely be spending more time reading my emails. Again, we go into a lot more detail and our private thoughts about this on the Patreon group. But just quickly, what are your sort of reactions to this?
Yeah, personally, I don't really care. But I fully understand it's someone's job to care, and that person needs to assess the rule that was broken and what the implications are, and whatever the prescribed penalty is needs to be applied. I don't know what that
Yeah,
penalty is,
yeah. I
but
I
whatever
am.
it is, he probably needs to receive it.
I think there has to be some sort of reaction to this. I think yeah, it'll be interesting to see if there is a reaction to this. The video put out where uh, I think that video where he basically says that he knows what he's doing, I think is the worst piece of evidence. But Hayden's a good guy. I don't I don't believe he would do this. Like, I don't think he has much ill intent with Hayden, right? I can understand how it might be a genuine mistake, but um, there's rules for a reason. So, uh, yeah, let us know what you think in the YouTube comments. Do you think there should be penalties? What do you think? Do you not care? One of the things I found is like people saying, oh, he would have won in sandals or whatever. It's like that's why I find it a weird risk to take if it is intentional, but. I just wanted to again praise. I think the guys at Pro Tri News did a great job finding that because that is, to me, that's newsworthy. And no, I didn't see anybody else break that. So I think that's really good work by them over there. And credit to Hayden coming out and actually acknowledging it because I wasn't sure that he would. So, did you want to say that thing, or do you want to do it after we do the
No, I'll
Lizzie
do it
interview?
afterwards.
Well, let's drop in your interview, your preview with Lizzie Rayner, and then we'll come back afterwards and I'll give my picks.
And here we are, joined by Lizzie Rayner, who is currently 39 ranked triathlete in the world, having had a successful year so far with a third place Ironman 70.3 Valencia, a second place Ironman Pays d'Eux, and a fifth place in Swansea, following on from a really successful 2024. Lizzie, how are you doing?
Hello. Yeah, really good, thanks. Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I feel like I've made it now. I'm on the
Yeah, of
pod.
course you have. Yeah, you're always welcome. The door's always open now. You've been on once. We'll see how this interview
Good.
goes, though. There is
Well,
room for
yeah.
negotiation.
Yeah.
How's things?
Yeah, no, really good. Yeah. I'm off to Nice tomorrow, which is really exciting. Kind of killing a few birds. Obviously it's the last time for the foreseeable that Ironman Worlds is going to be in Europe. And I'm not flying to Kona to spectate. So I thought I'd take that opportunity. A couple of friends racing as pros for the first time, which is really exciting. And also, it's obviously where 70.3 Worlds is next year. So I thought I could do a couple of recce's and just have bit of a training camp, bit of a fun week. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And then I'm gonna go on to doing T100 Valencia the week after that, which is really exciting.
Is
So
it still called
two
T100 Valencia? Is it still that? Or is it now something else? Something that begins with an O.
Oropesa del
That's
Mar.
it. Yeah. Oropesa del Mar.
I don't know if they're calling that. It doesn't roll off the tongue
No, I
quite
think it's
as
still
easily.
Valencia in my head. So you're going to Nice, you're going to be seeing some mates, doing a little micro training camp, recceing the
Yeah,
course, but also getting to see that Ironman World Championship, which I assume you have not seen yet in person.
no,
There
no.
we
So
go.
yeah, really excited. Think it's the most stacked men's field we've ever had. So
Oh, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
can't
We'll
wait
get
to
to
watch that
that.
in
We'll get to
person.
that. Have you been
Yeah.
to Nice?
Yes, it was actually my first ever training camp back in 2018, I think. Yeah, I went for 10 days with um so I was at university at the time working in a running shop with this guy called Zach, and he was a really good quite a good triathlete at the time. And then so this is back when we were both at uni, full circle, we both ended up being professional triathletes, and he got the last Nice spot in Copenhagen. coming fourth there. So yeah, looking forward to supporting him. But yeah, that's the last time I was in Nice, so good memories of that. But yeah, not been since. But yeah, I do have good memories. So looking forward to. It's probably gonna be ram-packed, but
It's a
part of
beautiful
the fun,
place.
isn't it?
I was there for the
Yeah.
women's race last year, and it's a stunning place to hold a race. I love it, and I like the fact that you can escape the race vibe as well. Just a couple of streets away, and you're just in Nice, wandering around the city, looking at all the restaurants and bars and all of that, and you don't feel like you're in the triathlon circus. You can get some headspace.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite cool because I could sort of pick and choose what I want to do because obviously it's race week, but it's not my race week, which you never fully enjoy, or you can like appreciate the atmosphere. So I'm looking forward to actually going and maybe soaking it all up in a different way. And yeah, like seeing a bit more of the old town. But obviously, I am kind of on a training camp and do have T100 the week after, so not going to be on my feet a huge amount. But
So a bit of bike riding, bit of running.
yeah, I signed up for the practice swim on Wednesday morning, which is only 1.9K. I thought it'd be 3.8, but 31 English pounds to swim 1.9K.
Well, money well spent. Money well spent, I'm sure.
And I think it's just a 70.3 course. So again, just practice. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, good distance. And then you're going to get out on the bike into the mountains, see some of the surrounding countryside, get a bit of sunshine, all of that stuff.
yeah, going to try and do as much as possible without obviously going too mad for the week after. Yeah, I can't get enough of riding in the mountains. So yeah, we're not going to have, but like I'm not going to have enough time out there to do what I want to do. But I think obviously with it being Worlds next year, which obviously I'm yet to qualify for, it'll
Oh, you
offer
will.
a chance for, oh yeah, at some point. um, I'll hopefully go out for a couple of weeks next summer at some point to do it properly.
There you
Uh,
go. I love riding around there. I think it's beautiful. How's this year been so far? Obviously, you've had a third place in Valencia, 70.3, third place at second place in Perdue, and a fifth place in Swansea. But then I saw you were obviously on the start list for London. You were on the start list for Fréjus, and now you're going to be going to T100 Valencia. Tell me about your year.
yeah, third time lucky to actually start a T100. Obviously, being a wild card, it's quite a precarious position, and I'm obviously very grateful to have had three offers. Unfortunately, I was quite unwell before London. Um, I went to London in the hope that I would miraculously recover. I had some sort of viral infection and unfortunately was still unwell that week. And we made the call the day before, which was obviously pretty devastating, being like a home race, and I had family coming to watch and friends, and but 100% the right call. There was absolutely no way that I could have put my body through anything near what I needed to perform at that level. Even I went for a jog on the morning of the race and felt pretty awful. So knew we made the right call. And then sadly, again that week after London, with it only being 3 weeks to France, it still wasn't very well. And we thought, well, if we include a taper, we've only got 10 days really of training to get back to where I was pre-London, which arguably was the fittest I've ever been, which is frustrating. So we made the call to pull out of that as well because just you can't, it's just another level and you can't show up if you're not at 100%. And I didn't want to put my body through that and thinking, more long term with Worlds in November. That was always my big goal at the start of this year. Um, I was 3 minutes off the top 10 last year. So I came into this year going, going to go for top 10. So sort of reframed everything and like protected that a little bit. But then obviously the opportunity with Valencia came up. Haven't raced since Swansea in July, so it fits really well into the calendar. Um, Obviously carrying pretty good momentum from the start of the year. Had some, yeah, really,
Yeah.
yeah, like, pretty chuffed with those results.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think two very sensible calls, wasn't it? I saw how ill you were in London and how
mm,
unlike yourself you were when we got together and had a coffee and spent some time together. And I don't think certainly racing that weekend would have been like, Unreal. But then, like you say, you've got the Worlds, 70.3 Worlds coming up. You want to maximize these opportunities. You don't want to make yourself sicker. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you're going to damage your immune system and find yourself in a hole. So I think you made some very sensible decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah, and yeah, I, we knew there's no doubt that I made the right call. Um, and on the plus side, I've bounced back so quick after that. It's like my body really sort of just wanted 3 weeks off. I managed some sort of aerobic base. Some days it was better than others, but yeah, I've had some really good training since. Did a 400-meter PB in the pool, some really good power numbers on the bike, some really good run sessions. So yeah, I kind of feel like I've bounced back quite quick, which is quite exciting leading into the rest, like last 3 races of the season, really.
What's your 400 meter PB?
I did 4:45
Fuck off.
after 10 100s at threshold. I turned in halfway at like 2:20. It was
Yeah.
meant to be just like threshold pace. And I was like, fuck it, let's go for it.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Good work. Glad to hear it.
So
That's
that
some
was quite nice.
speedy swimming.
Yeah, which you don't get very often. So
No, no. So Valencia, T100 Valencia, or whatever it's called now, but we'll keep calling it Valencia. What's the plan? Don't tell me the
oh,
actual
not
plan. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it too much. But what's the plan? What's the
we haven't
public
got a
plan?
plan yet. Public plan. Swim, bike, and run as hard as possible. I I'm quite cognizant of the fact that in Swansea, I think I ruined my race by it was a very hot day and I rode too hard in that first 30K.
Okay.
Um, and so therefore I obviously it is different with the T100 because it's going to be more intense. It's going to be like a World Series race, which I've also never done. But I think I'd like to manage my effort a little bit more and be a bit more sensible and know that I'll gain if I can get off the bike in a good place that I can confidently pick off some spots on the run if I have a run I know I'm capable of.
So when you say
Um,
you overbiked in Swansea in the first 30K, was that a conscious decision or something you just found yourself doing in the moment?
um, I was confident going on to that course.
Hmm.
So I was like, I think I can ride quite hard, knowing the course really well. Um, I came out T1 with a little gap to Hannah DeVette and Daisy Davis, and I thought these are girls I'd quite like to ride with. And then there was no need to ride the way I did to catch up to them because on that course, you don't benefit from riding with other people. In fact, it's probably disadvantage with Race Ranger and how hilly that course is. There's no aero benefit really at all. And also it was a hot day, so I think yeah, I've never felt so hot so early in a race. This is in like bloody Wales.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
there. It was so
yeah,
hot.
I remember getting to 30, about 30K and I was like, oh, I'm quite warm.
Yeah.
And then
I
like
got
had
to
some
walking
horrific
from
cramp.
my car to the coffee shop and I was quite warm.
Yeah, so I think I put myself in a bit of trouble doing that, but equally, I don't know. I can run quite well off a hard bike some days, and yeah, I've never run well in Swansea. I don't know why. I've always struggled, so um, not sure what we've learnt from that. But I think yeah, maybe I did overbike a little bit in the beginning when I didn't need to because I was in the front pack of the swim, and I could have just measured my effort a little bit more. But fifth in a pro series at home is not still not
Yeah, yeah.
too bad.
Yeah, we had that conversation afterwards, didn't we? I mean, if you have a day that you think you had a bad race, but you're finishing fifth in a pro series, then, what happens on a good day?
Yeah, exactly. I think I was riding that high from Aix-en-Provence where I just had kind of a dream day and felt like clicked into that sort of flow state that you only ever that comes around just once in a blue moon. And it's just quite a phenomenal feeling. And yeah, I think I was pretty keen for that again, but stars didn't align and yeah, for whatever reason, didn't go my way, but yeah, hung on.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, it's going to be an interesting race. The Valencia course, the new course that isn't Valencia but is something else. It's short, isn't it? I mean, not overall, but there's lots of laps.
Yeah, six laps on the bike, um, out and back on highway, so it will make for interesting viewing. And same on the run, 6 laps. So
Yeah.
going on my own, so we'll have no one to count for me. So I'm gonna have to figure out some system there. But yeah, I it should yeah, should be quite interesting. There's an awful lot of wild cards. I think at the moment there's 12 wild cards and
Mm.
8 contracted athletes. So um will be quite a good race. I'm obviously disappointed it's not a race like we had in London. Um, which was another reason another reason I was gutted about London was because it was so stacked and how often does that opportunity come around to race? And that's why I want to do T100 because you get to race the best in the world over and over again. And then to be almost turning up to a race where I'm actually just racing people that I could race at quite a few 70.3s across the year is like not really what I wanted, but equally it's still going to be you still got Lucy Charles, Kate Woff, Jess Learmonth, so it's still going to have that firepower. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens, see how it plays out.
There you go. First steps, eh? First steps into the T100 world. Exciting times with plenty
Yeah,
more to come,
exactly.
I'm sure.
Don't want to bite off more than I can chew.
Oh, yeah, I don't think there's any danger of that. So let's talk about Nice. You're going there. What excites you about the Nice course?
Ah, so much. I just think every championship should look like this. The climbing, the technical, descending, just the raw power that you need for a course like this is just, it's not, it's no Ironman Texas.
No. I mean,
Uh,
you're a very, very good swimmer. So if you were looking at a course like this, you've got France is the French coast is renowned to be very flat in the mornings. It's going to be hopefully a still start with a calm sea. It will be wetsuit, I assume,
no,
this time of the year.
I think it's non-wetsuit.
Or is it going to be non-wetsuit, is it?
I think it's about 25 at the
Oh,
moment.
interesting. So it's hotter than I thought.
Mm.
Okay, interesting. So it's going to be non-wetsuit.
Mm.
Um, it's going to be a deep water start because they're not going to come running off the beach, but they are going to come
Yeah.
running out of the water up the carpet onto it with a rocky stones underneath them. How do you approach a swim like this? Someone like yourself who's a really decent swimmer.
It's never done an Ironman.
Oh, forget that. That's a detail we don't need to worry about.
I actually need to get the start list up because I want to see who our swimmers are. I have sort of looked at it, but I think you're going to have people like Jamie Riddle, Matthew Marquardt. I think this swimmer is going to be drilled.
Yeah.
Um, you've got Laidlow there, who's going to want. I mean, he's going to have a gap off the bike anyway, but he's going to want to be. You want to be first on that climb as well because of it could be such a huge chase pack. But with Race Ranger and all of this, you don't want to put yourself in any sort of jeopardy. So I think it's going to be probably an exceptionally hard swim. I don't know what you think, but also they want to gap Magnus, Patrick, Leon, people like that.
Yeah, totally. I agree. I think the good swimmers will take advantage of the fact that they are very good swimmers, and this is an environment where they can, like you say, absolutely drill it and put those that aren't quite as good as swimmers under pressure because a lot of those athletes that aren't quite as good as swimmers are often very, very good bikers. And this is a course that lends itself to being a good cyclist and not just specifically a good triathlon cyclist where you can get in the aero position and lay down power, but this is a course that suits people who are good all-round bike riders who can go uphill well, who can descend confidently in control but fast and understand how to ride a bike.
Yeah, 100%. I think yeah, that's what's exciting. There's so many ways this could play out and so many dynamics because of the course. But yeah, I think it's super exciting. So many players as well.
So who's going to lead out that swim?
Um, I reckon it'd be Laidlow, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So do you think, I mean, we'll get into specific characters and athletes a bit later, but do you think Laidlow's going to carry the form that we've re seen recently into this race? He's had a strange year.
Like you just have no idea. Could have an absolutely phenomenal day, could absolutely blow his gasket on the run. I think he only knows how to ride one way.
Yeah.
So it's going to be what sort of form he's carried since Leeds. I mean, running a 2:41 in Leeds is absolutely phenomenal. Like that's low 2:30 on a flat course. And Leeds was long apparently as well. And if he's done all of that off the 10 weeks, 10 hours a week that he said he's been doing, then I think we could be in for, I think he's a podium shot for sure. But who knows? Like he's good on social media, but he's quite private, isn't he, really, with all the details, I think.
Yeah, I think his good on social media is creating a an avatar that people are distracted by and therefore don't really dig into what he's actually up to in his private life and all of that. I think that's what he's quite skilled at doing.
Yeah. And I think for him though, what a massive advantage mentally to come onto this course having won last time. He's French, home roads, like car that surely that does a lot more than your physical, whatever physical state he's in. Obviously
Yeah,
it has to be good to a certain extent, but I think like I race really well when I go back to courses I enjoy and I've raced well at previously. So he's going to have a huge boost from that. Whether hopefully he doesn't have too much media in the week and get too knackered, but
I think there's going to be
uh,
a lot of media for everybody. So going onto the bike, we've got a flat section. There's like a punchy bit. Then you've got the an undulating section, big climb, plateau, descent, climb, long descent, and then 17 kilometers of flat to the finish. Easy. Sounds easy, doesn't it? What does a
textbook,
bike
yeah.
course like this do to a field of triathletes trying to race it over this kind of distance, Lizzie?
I'd like to think it helps. It will tame some egos, but I think it's going to be that first climb is going to be. It needs to be measured. You need to be sensible. Like it's such a long day out. And that plateau at the top will be really hard. Well, the rest of it, anything, it'll all be really hard if you just hammer it up that first climb, like we saw Clement do 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Went off with Sam, and then well, I don't know where he ended up. We never saw him again, did we?
No,
Um,
no, no, he went boom.
yeah. So I think that's going to be, yeah. I think that first how that first climb is ridden is going to be quite key because it's about 17K or so, is it the climb?
Yeah, I think so. It's a big climb up to the top of the
Mm,
plateau. And then I've never ridden the course myself, but I know that that plateau you're not climbing a huge amount, but it's not untechnical riding. You're twisting and turning a fair amount. Um, and then it's a case of who can handle those descents on legs that are in the middle of a race, having done one massive climb and several small climbs in order to get there. Because you're not fresh when you're trying to rip it down that long descent towards Nice.
no. Um, I think, yeah, we saw it in the women's race, how the technical ability of um, Laura and Kat, they dropped Marjolaine like a stone, didn't they? And especially Laura's riding, like she gained so much time on that descent.
Yeah, yeah,
It just shows how much that can come into play. Um, and I actually think someone like Patrick is probably I mean, he's from what I've seen, he's been in Austria, he's been in Salzburg for a long time. He's been doing a lot of riding, a lot of technical riding, and seems to have been with a lot of pro cyclists. So I'm quite excited about his ability to ride on this course. Obviously, being a bit of a lighter guy as well.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I mean, he
so
was
I
he was
think,
he was chasing Laidlaw down last time, wasn't he? He just needed a little bit more time, and All he needs to do is improve that bike a certain percentage, and he's there
Yeah.
within striking distance if you replay that race the way it went last time.
He seems to be doing a lot of riding in the mountains, so I'm quite excited to see that. I mean, we have so many big riders this year that like people like, well, you can look at anyone. Leon lives in the mountains. Daniel lives in the mountains. Like Gustav and Kristian have been in the Alps and Casper for what seems like months. Schomburg's going to absolutely tear it up that first climb, isn't he?
Yeah, and then you got Ditlev and Long, and there are a lot of
Martin van Riel,
Martin Martin Van Riel. Cam Worth is there as well. Cam Worth, who's on every start list ever
Hogan
made.
Haug.
Hogan Haug. It's gonna
Yeah,
be.
new
Do you?
dad.
Hey.
New dad. Is he going to have dad strength or is he going to have like the curse of the new dads don't race well?
Oh, I think he'll carry some strength into this race from that. Do you think we're gonna see like a spread out field, lots of people working individually, or are we gonna see groups forming on the road?
The running algorithm is a brand new tool that gives you a training plan for everything from 5 kilometers to marathon. You know that your schedule can change, and if you have to skip a session or just end up running with a friend and doing some extra, the running algorithm will adapt and adjust your plan to keep you consistent. Head to therunningalgorithm.com and use the code TALKINTRIATHLON, all capitals, and you can use the running algorithm for free while they add lots of exciting new features over the next 3 months before you decide if you want to go on and pay later.
I can see I guess it depends what that first climb does, but I could see we're gonna have a massive chase pack. I can see, but then non-wetsuit, will it be spread out more than normal? Um, I think because we've historically on this course not seen packs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't ride in a group. There's no real benefit from it. And if you try to go with someone, yeah, you can be blown apart. So I think it's going to spread out quite quick, to be honest. Um,
Hard,
and then it's
fast
just,
swim, a long line of people, then a bunch of individuals working for themselves on the bike.
I think so. I think because you can't, yeah, I don't know how, because everyone has, it's not like Kona where you will benefit from being in a pack. You will, especially at 12 meters. And if it's windy and they're long, draggy climbs, here you just don't benefit from that. And your everyone's abilities will be so different. Like not stereotyping, but the Americans aren't going to descend as well as the Europeans, are they? You don't want to be stuck in a group with a couple of behind a couple of them and not be able to go round because race rangers there or you know what I mean? It's like when you can't go over the centre line.
No,
You don't want to be
no.
caught behind people on any descent. So I think you're almost better off being on your own.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Especially if you're a good rider, absolutely go for it. So let's have a look through some of the names. So Patrick Lang, for example, he obviously won in Hawaii last year. He's then come into my laptop, almost stacked it off my pile of things. I caught it. He's then come into this year and he's come 17th in Oceanside and he's come 7th in Frankfurt. And those are his two results. Do you think he has just been prioritizing Nice and keeping quiet and, like you say, spending a lot of time in the mountains, sharpening up his cycling as descending, and he's going to come into this race red hot favorite?
so because was it after Oceanside, he had an adductor problem for quite a while. I think he was meant to do another Ironman. He was meant to do Texas, wasn't he? Um, and then ended up doing Frankfurt. I think people that go quiet for world champs, I think, will go really well. Like I remember Laura doing it last year. You're like, wow, she's the only one out of like the top runners and riders that you kind of knew was like all in for this. And I kind of think that's where Patrick's at. I'd look on his Strava, he doesn't put everything up, but as I said, there's been a hell of a lot of riding. And he's been running by the looks of things. So um I think I I hate writing him off though. Like you just
Yeah,
can't. Who
he's a
picked him last
very
year? Like
yeah. It's a
I don't
fall
think
that
anyone
writes him
did.
off, isn't it?
Yeah. Um, yeah,
I
he could
want to
definitely
see this
podium.
race come down to him chasing down somebody, but actually managing to get them this time around. I love watching
Yeah.
Patrick run. I think it's
Oh, yeah.
I remember me and you were watching the end of the men's race in London and watching Yella Gaines run past us. It's a very similar it evokes a similar feeling inside me when I see somebody running, when I see Patrick running, because I'm just like, oh God, I wish I could run like that.
Yeah, and it's like when we saw Yella take Hayden in the last 3K in Taupo. Like I was
Yeah.
there watching, and it was so exciting. Hayden had this huge posse of cyclists cycling on the other side of the road, cheering him on, and then Yella obviously Hayden put out this bold goal of wanting to run 63 or 64 minutes, and then in that last 3K, Yella just pops him, and I'm like, I'd love it to actually be quite a close battle.
Yeah.
Which I think it could be.
So what about someone like Ditlev? Where does he come? Because his year so far, he's won in South Africa, Ironman South Africa. He's come 12th in St. George, 70.3, and he was 8th in Frankfurt. So he had a strong start to the year with a victory, and then he's kind of tailed off. We haven't heard a huge amount from him. Where does Ditlev factor in a race like this?
Yeah, he's had almost a bit more of an average year than we've come to expect from him, which is quite nice. Like he looks a bit more human in
He does,
like
yeah, yeah.
St. George and Frankfurt. Um, his swimming's come on quite a lot. He'll be in that chase pack.
His swimming's come on a
Um,
huge amount, I think. I used to, I mean,
yeah,
I know Magnus quite well. I used to work with Magnus. Great bloke, really kind human being. But when I started working with him a few years ago, he was never, I would have considered, I would have just said, he's in the sort of poor swimmer category. But now he's up there. He's up there and he's done a lot of work.
yeah. And whether wetsuit, non-wetsuit has an effect, I don't know, but I think they'll have prepared for that. Um, Again, he's been quite quiet on socials. I saw on Casper's Instagram they were in Nice about a month ago. Ditlev was running down the prom in his tri suit, so clearly preparing, doing very specific prep. Um, so yeah, I'm quite excited. I think because he's been quiet, we obviously don't know, but I think yeah, could definitely be dangerous. Especially yeah, if he closes that gap on the swim, which he could do on that first climb, really, couldn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Close the be there or thereabouts out the swim. He's not going to be too far behind. And then, Magnus is obviously an incredible bike rider. The question I've always had with him over this course, which he's put me right on a couple of times, I'll give him that, is is whether his incredible bike riding translates from being a really, really good time trialist into the kind of bike rider I described earlier, who can take on a course like this, someone who can ascend really well and descend really well and manage that effort over the two things and descend confidently on a TT bike in control whilst also racing really, really quick. It's those are the questions I always have about him, and I'm yet to see him put in a position where that's truly been tested, where he's been at the
Yeah.
front of a race. He's emailed me in response to me saying things like that and been like, I'm actually quite a good bike rider, James. So I hear you, Magnus, mate.
But you do, yeah. I don't know him as well as you, but you think of Magnus, and you typically think of he's a guy who can go really fast on these power courses like your Texas,
Yeah, with a dish
your South
plate chain
Africa,
ring, and off he goes.
yeah, put on a 68, and yeah, Magnus is your guy.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, another thing about Magnus, I think, is that he always has his own race. He doesn't appear to ever be racing anybody, although he's in a race and everyone's racing everybody. He's just sort of starting the race and going, this is what I'm going to achieve in this race. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. He's never sort of responding
Yeah,
particularly to those around him.
I'd never really thought about that, but yeah, he does just seem to do his own thing, which I think you need to do on this course. You can't get carried away.
No, no, it's like the whole thing is just a time trial for that man. So, what about someone like Kristian? Where does he sit in a race like this?
Blumenfelt, Hogenhaug.
Blummenfelt. I'm going with Blumenfelt first.
Um,
I
I
mean,
mean, he's my pick. He's probably my pick for the win. He's
he's
probably
had,
everyone's.
yeah, I mean, his year is the other athletes we've discussed so far. Obviously, he's had a 15th in Oceanside, and then he's won Ironman Texas. He's won 70.3. Um, like
Axe,
yeah, Aix-en-Provence,
Aix-en-Provence.
and then sorry, and then he won in Frankfurt, didn't he? So he's on a blind. He's having a blinder.
I mean, he's run a 2:30 and a 2:34 marathon this year.
Yeah,
Like,
2:34.03 in Texas and 2:30.59 in Frankfurt, which is not
yeah,
fucking about, is it?
no. And I heard on Pro Tri News he's lost about 4 kilos for that climb,
Good on him.
which is pretty impressive. So,
I don't know where he's
um,
lost that from because people
yeah,
people have this impression that Kristian Blummenfelt's quite a hefty sort of stacked bloke, but if you meet him in person, he's fucking tiny.
yeah, he's just barrel chested, isn't he? Like literally
Yeah,
just got a big rib cage,
exactly. Where's he
and
lost
he's
four
just like,
kilograms from?
I know. I hope it's not muscle.
Yeah,
Well, it must.
same.
I don't know.
Same. So we'll do formal picks earlier, but you just threw in a minute ago that he's your pick for the win, is he? How does an athlete like Kristian Blumenfelt win this race, Lizzie?
I think he. Where will he be on the swim? I reckon. I think he'll be in that chase pack, won't he? Will he be a front? Is he a front pack swimmer? Not in the way that Sam is,
No,
Matthew
he's not a
Marquardt is.
lead the swim out kind of front pack, but I'd say he's tail of front pack, leading second pack.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I think he'll ride quite hard, but then I think he's just going to drop the bomb on the run. Like I mean, outside of Langer, no one's running with him.
No. If he doesn't ride hard enough though, then he finishes close enough
Mm.
to Lang to make that a race. And that would be a hell of a race to see. Those boys shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, we haven't had that, have we?
We have not. No, we have
Yeah,
not.
because he was going to do Texas. I remember Kristian being disappointed that Langer wasn't here for a race. Yeah, I'd love to see that. But yeah, he's obviously going to have to, they're going to have that in mind. All of those boys in that front group, they need a gap to Langer off the bike.
And then we've got athletes like Rudy von Berg. He's
Knows the
obviously
course.
knows the course well. Local man, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. He's just solid, isn't he? We always just sort of he's very underrated. We always never really talk about him, but then he always that comes yeah, is always up there. He'll come into T2 in like the top five for sure.
Yeah, he is. I wouldn't say underrated because as soon as you think about him, you think, oh yeah, he'll
Yeah,
be in the conversation. But it's kind of like he just sits there in the top 10. You know what
yeah,
I
he's
mean?
like
He
quite
just sits in
sneaky.
your consciousness without ever really coming to the forefront of my mind anyway. I'm speaking for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, you just forget about him. Like no one picked him in Oceanside and he got on the podium there again. And same in Texas. But anyway, uh, yeah, huge advantage to know this course for it to be home roads. So yeah, where did he come last time
I don't
we were
know.
in Nice?
I
Let
would
me have a
have
look.
to I would have to check. Um, how far behind is Sam
Oh, he came
Long going to
fourth.
be? Oh, he came fourth. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Very solid. How far behind is Sam Long going to be coming out of the swim? So far that it completely negates his impact on the race or even the point in him being there, I think. What do you
Yeah.
think?
No, I totally agree. I really like the guy. I think technically he's not a good rider. He's obviously spent time in Europe, but he lost 8 minutes to Hayden over 80K in Fréjus. 8 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Sam Long of old is not doing that, or it might just be the course. But I think I just don't. I do really like the guy. I can't see him being a factor in this race.
No,
It could be 6 minutes. He could be 6 minutes down at the swim, and I don't think we'll see him all day. He's
no.
not been ploughing through fields like we've seen him do previously. He seems quite stressed. I don't know if you've watched any of his YouTube videos. he just like he makes me a bit anxious because he's just like
Yeah.
his energy is quite I don't know. He feels a bit jittery.
Yeah, no, I think I mean there are two opinions I have on this. Sam Long, I think the fact that he exists and he's part of the sport, overall good thing. He brings energy.
Yeah.
He's an athlete. I'm glad that he's in triathlon and long may that continue. But then sitting alongside that, I can't see him being a factor in this race. I think he's gonna bleed so much time on this swim and then not have the ability on the bike to make any impact or catch up. And then I think it's just going to be a lonely old run for the man. And yeah, his,
Yeah.
his YouTube, his content, as they say, does stress me out somewhat.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's the reality of also traveling with a young family and all of that, but the way he like gets up at so early in the morning to do like this massive ride, then goes literally straight to like finishes his ride at the pool to do a swim straight away, and just like these. And I know you have to do what you have to do with a family and that, but it just feels quite. I can't imagine his nervous system's in a good place. It makes me feel a bit stressed, but I do worry about his technical ability. I mean, Cam Worth crashed on this course last time.
Yeah, he did indeed. Um, Talking about Cam Worth, the man that's on every start list going. Um,
Yeah, but he hasn't shown up to a whole lot of them, has
he
he?
hasn't, no, he's just always there saying he's going to. Um,
14th
Where
last
do you
time
think
out.
he's? Yeah, 14th last time out. Um, do you think he can have an impact on this race?
Mm, I think he can. I think where have we seen him this year? Oh, he did. Um,
Ironman
okay, ninth in
70.3
Frankfurt.
Geelong, he was 20th. He was 8th in Ironman Texas, 13th in St. George, 70.3, 10th in 70.3 Eagleman, and then 9th in Frankfurt. So he's
Okay,
not,
so
go ahead.
well, I was gonna say he's not raced since June.
He's not raced since June, so his
Um,
powder is dry, let's say.
he's all I've seen of him really is that feed doco series that Lionel Talbot's been doing. Um, he seems happy. He seems in a good place. He seems to be training well. He's been doing some absolutely insane riding. I think we all saw the one that Strava caption was like escaping the in-laws or something. Um, oh, I don't know. I I just don't actually. I'm going to take it back. I don't think he's going to impact the race because I think our winner will come from the front of that swim or the front of the chase, like that first third.
Yeah, there are some very
You're
rounded
not
triathletes.
making. Well, this is it now, and this is what we saw from Laidlow last time out in Nice. You can't just be a good biker anymore. You have to be a really good swim bike runner to win these things now. And the standard is so high that I think, sadly, because again, I really like the guy, I don't think we'll see him feature. He could do a similar result, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think yeah, I'm not sure. I think inclusion in the
No,
race,
I'm not.
great for it, but I'm not sure. I think I mean he's a hell of a biker, but there's been a lot, and when he first started doing triathlon, that was enough to be in the conversation. But there's been a lot of really good swimmers have caught up with him on the bike now. We're seeing we're seeing his ability to make a difference has been negated by other incredible bikers in the sport.
Yeah. And those people coming up from short course, to mention no Germans, Jonas, like I think he could podium.
Schomburg.
Yeah.
God, I love the way he exits T2.
Yeah.
That's my jam, that is.
First 3K at like sub 3 minute Ks.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when he was
He
when he
was
was
good
racing
in Roth.
WTCS, that was he it was like was a running joke that the man's never going to learn. But
I think it still is, yeah.
he's brought that into long course, and it's actually working for him.
Yeah. It's
So
funny, my mum was like trying to describe who he was. And I was like, oh, you know that tall blonde German that just like shoots out of T2 every time we watch WTCS? She was like, oh yeah.
yeah, was it Death and Taxes and Jonas Schomburg exiting T2 like it's a
Yeah.
100-meter race? Love it.
Yeah.
So talking about other people I really like, but I'm not entirely sure is going to have an impact on this race. Joe Skipper's going to be there. And now this year's been a
Uh,
difficult one for him. Obviously, we've seen him second in Ironman New Zealand, DNF in Austria, 14th in Challenge Roth, DNF in Copenhagen. What do you think about Skip?
you know, he raced in Belgium today, did a
He did, yeah, I did.
70.3.
I just don't know the result. I've had a few messages from people saying he had a blinder of a bike, but I don't know where he finished.
No, I don't know actually. I saw he was within the start of the maybe the middle of the bike. He was within 90 seconds the of the leader. Um, but then I think he went backwards on the run. Whether he is just it was just a hard swim bike day for him
Could well
with
have
next
been.
week in mind. You'd
Yeah,
hope so.
exactly. Could well have been. You'd think, wouldn't you? You'd think if
Oh, he
you
ended
were
up in fifth.
if you're a
Ran a
sensible
one.
athlete, which I know Joe is, he's a sensible human being. You'd think, I will go and test myself on the swim and the bike, and then I'll ease right back on the run because I'm racing in Nice the weekend after.
He ran a 118,
Okay.
and he's capable of running quite a lot quicker than that. So I'd
Yeah, yeah.
say
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was a measured effort. Came fifth, 7 minutes down from Cameron Main, who ran a
Okay.
111.
Good on him. Good on him. I
Yeah.
mean, he's got a better swim. I mean, put him in the bracket of someone like Sam Long, but he's got a much better swim of than someone like Sam Long, and in my opinion, a much better ability on a bike that's more suited to a course like this.
Yeah. I still see him as a
Get it out your brain,
bit.
Lizzie. Do it.
I want to make friends.
Joe loves everybody.
Um, I see him as almost your Magnus Ditlev, where he's the ability to just put his head down and push some massive watts on a course that's not very technical. I'm not sure about his technical ability, but if you're saying it's good, then we'll go with
It's,
that.
I mean, I think he's a better bike rider in that sense than people may give him credit for. Um, I think,
Right, let's talk about last time he was in Nice. Oh, either. He
yeah,
rode a
I'm still here.
4:58. He was 28th fastest bike.
Okay. That was 2 years ago, and he was kind of going into his little wilderness period then, wasn't he? So I don't know.
Very.
I think he may still have something in him, and I'd like to see it. And I'm slightly biased. I've got a lot of time for Joe.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone likes him. And he's on an Argon, so of course he'll ride well.
There you go. There you go. So who haven't I mentioned? Who else is on this start list that you think deserves a little bit of love from us before we wrap things up?
What do we think? Oh, Gustav.
Of course, Gustav's there, isn't he? Gustav Iden.
So I've heard that Solveig Lovseth thinks he can win.
I mean, he's Gustav Iden. Of course he can win. Whether he will or not, he's
How good
had.
would that be?
Oh, it would be. Yeah, I think I might cry.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's he's had a tough time. Coming in and doing what he did in 2022. But since then, obviously 2023 was a really rough year from him for multiple reasons. And then coming back from that, he's been building through 2024. And we've seen him have some results this year, third in Oceanside, 13th in Texas, recently fourth in Frankfurt. So his form is returning. And if who was it who said he could win?
Solveig Lovseth, who
Okay.
she obviously trains with them to a certain extent. Yeah, I thought it was quite an interesting statement.
Do you think he can win?
Yes, I would so love him to win. Yeah, let's go with yeah, let's be positive.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I think we're seeing him going up through the gears. We're seeing him get his ability and performances back under his control rather than just going out there and finding out what's going to happen on the day. And it would be incredible to see him come back and just be in the conversation, to be in that top five, dictating terms and coming onto that run within striking distance because we know he's got that run in him.
Yeah. Yeah, whether he's at Langer, Blummenfelt heights of running yet, we don't know. But I think I think he'll be good in a course like this. He's just a
Anyone
very
else?
versatile athlete.
Anyone else?
Van Riel?
Martin Van Riel?
I mean, I feel like he's a bit of a recovery because obviously he's had this ankle thing.
Ankle thing, and also, by his own, by looking at his socials, he's had some mental health issues that he's been dealing with, and he's been on a bit of a
Yeah,
journey. So he's a human being I've got a huge amount of time for.
yeah,
He's such a nice guy. Um, and he was the chosen one when the T100 first started. He was just absolutely rampaging through those wins. I'd love to see him come here and have the race that he deserves. Whether or not he will, I think, his year to this point might decide that. Where do you think he's at?
I think he seems like now he's in a good place. Obviously, saying that just from what he's put out on social media, and at this point, it's probably all mind games. But equally, he seems to have recovered really well from that ankle. Um, I mean, we saw how well he performed in Singapore the week after racing an Ironman in South Africa. So he might be some kind of recovery freak.
Yeah, so he was
Um,
second in South Africa, third in Singapore, sixth in San Francisco, second in Vancouver, and then he won 70.3 Nice in June.
yeah, so I forgot about that.
The man is riding a
Oh,
rich wave of form.
and I know he's been in Font Romeu for um quite a while. Um, he's obviously been doing a lot of riding because of his ankle. I think he could feature quite heavily. He's obviously a front pack swimmer. Um, I'm excited to watch him race. I think he could really throw a spanner in the works, but obviously, yeah. Um, hopefully he's in a good headspace to do so because that, Ironman's a long day out, however fit you are. But I think, yeah, hopefully he's in a good place to really show us what he can do. Um,
Same. Whatever happens, though, I think we're in for a hell of a race. I think it's going to be a
yeah.
really interesting day watching it shake out. Now, now's the time. You
Can
know
I
what's
also just
coming.
mention, I just want to mention Leon as well,
Yeah,
having had a sixth, a fifth, and a fourth in the last 3 years at Worlds. I think the mountain is his playground. Um,
the
I
mountain
it,
is his playground. I want that on a t-shirt.
quick trademark it. I might have just stolen that from somewhere. Um, I think it depends on the swim.
Yeah,
He's gonna,
absolutely, absolutely. And I think those, like we said earlier, those that are really, really good swimmers are going to be absolutely punishing this field in an attempt
yeah,
to string it out, um, and to put the people that need to chase under pressure to make them chase.
yeah, 100%.
So, who's your third place pick?
Who was my second place?
Who's your third place?
Oh, we're going backwards.
Yeah, we'll do three, two, one. We'll pretend you didn't mention earlier.
I thought long and hard about this because it
Have
has
you?
so many variables. So I'm going Gustav for third.
Gustav for third. That would be a hell of a way to round off the podium.
Don't know what's yours.
I am gonna say Kristian Blummenfelt for third.
Oh, okay.
Who's your second person?
Um, Patrick Langer.
Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to say Sam Laidlow for second
Yeah, that's
because
yeah. I
Patrick Lang
hate
is going to
leaving him
catch him
off.
on the run this time.
Oh,
So I've got Patrick for
okay.
first. I think Patrick's going to win this race.
That's yeah. Okay,
Coming
I'm going for
second here
Chris.
2 years ago, and then having the race he did in Hawaii last year, he's had a quiet year and he's kept his powder dry and he's learned his lesson about this race. And he's going to come back and he is going to win it in some fashion, I think.
Wouldn't we love to see it?
Oh, fuck yeah.
But I,
Fuck yeah.
but I do have Christian. I do have Christian on my top step.
Okay. Okay. Well, then next weekend, we'll find out.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, very excited.
So thank you so much for joining us. Where do people need to go to find out more about you, what you've been up to, what you're going to be up to, and all of that?
Um, Basically just Instagram, at Lizzie Rayner 97.
At Lizzie
That's
Rayner
basically
97, the year of new Labour.
it. Oh God. I'm a little bit on LinkedIn, but that's for your nerds out there.
God, yeah, I mean, I'm on LinkedIn, don't get me wrong. I understand. But fuck me, do I
Should we,
hate
should we
LinkedIn.
plugging should we plugging my LinkedIn, should I?
Jesus Christ, LinkedIn. Oh, it's
Don't
the
do
worst.
YouTube, just Instagram.
There we
It's a
go.
bit quiet because I've not had anything to post about, but yeah, I am on there.
Oh, but shit's about to get real, isn't it? The next few weeks is going to be exciting. As you
Like
journey down to Nice, documenting
season
that,
part
watching the
two.
race, then off to do Valencia,
I
then to
know
the
it's a bit of
Worlds.
it's quite annoying travel actually because I've got to get a you can't fly direct from Nice to Valencia, so I've got to fly to Madrid, then spend like 5 hours on trains from Madrid to Oropesa del Mar.
It'll be a pretty train ride.
Oh yeah, this is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, yeah. Well, good luck with it all, and do come back on
Thanks,
again
mate.
at some point to update us.
Yeah, would love to.
Cheerio.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
We're back.
There
Well
we
done.
go. What an
Well done,
amazing Nice preview that was, eh?
mate. The best.
I think
Obviously, I
so. I
taught you
think so.
everything you know. It's a bit of a,
Every
yeah.
preview's better when you're not in it.
I'm very rarely on them, to be honest. I
Yeah.
don't actually remember the last time I did a World Championships preview with you. Oh, maybe T100. Oh,
So
sorry,
the
70.3
listeners
last
will
year.
have just heard me do my picks, so I'll just run through them for your benefit so that they don't so that they can influence the way you feel about the race. I picked Kristian Blummenfelt third, Sam Laidlow second, Patrick Lang first.
Okay. Do you want to explain to me a little bit? Or you've already explained that, and
Already
we
explained
can
it.
we can have that off.
Already
That's an
explained it.
offline conversation for us.
Yeah.
I am going to pick in third place Magnus Ditlev. In second place Patrick Langer, and in first place Kristian Blumenfeld. That's my picks.
Fair play. So no
Yeah.
Laidlow on the podium.
No, he's going to blow up. Blow up. He's
Interesting.
going to ride. He's going to be riding scared of Kristian because he's going to think he's going to need like a 15-minute lead off the bike. And I just think a lot of people aren't going to let him do what he did last time. I feel like people know what he did last time. The rules have been written a little bit, and he's going to have to. Yeah, he's no longer like he's going in as the marked man this time. So yeah, he's so hot and cold. I mean, look, if he goes and does what he's done, if he did what he did last time, nobody will beat him. But I just think, yeah, I just want Kristian to win it. Basically, Kristian did so well in St George too, right? Like that's the thing. That was also a race that was quite hilly, and he didn't get off the bike with the lead, but ran through the field and won the thing. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna back Kristian. Kristian was so goddamn impressive at that Frankfurt race too. So every race he's done really has just been so impressive. So yeah, and he's been over there for months. Like he looks so lean.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, you'll have heard me say in the main body and on the bonus episode that I want to see a Christian Patrick Lang run race.
yeah, that'd be so
I
good.
really, really do, because it would be so good to see those two
What
very contrasting looking athletes, but with similar run times, really fighting it out on that run course.
you would assume that you're going to have Magnus and Sam off the bike ahead of those two in particular. What gap do they need to keep them away?
Many.
agree. Actually, it's going to be a big fucking gap. I honestly think we could see it. Oh, I say that it's a fucking hilly bike course, but you get that huge descent right coming into town, so you can actually get off the bike with relatively fresh legs. Fuck it, I'll say. I think we could see a sub 2:30 marathon.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge descent and then it's a 17K flat, isn't it? Run into Nice.
Yeah, I think we could see a sub 2:30 marathon to win this race. That's my
Yeah, and
call.
that will come from Patrick Lang, who's
Or Kristian.
chasing down Sam Laidlow off the bike. He'll pass him to win the race because he's learned his lesson. He's gone away into the mountains like Rocky Balboa in Rocky 4, and he's going to come out and absolutely cream him.
I really love the thought of those two pushing each other to like a 2:20 something marathon each. Imagine like a full-on sprint finish. Because you know that because Patrick will be behind Kristian on the bike, off the bike. Imagine if Kristian's focused ahead and doesn't realize Patrick's coming from behind, and suddenly Patrick Langer pulls up next to him. In no universe is unless he's vomiting as he goes, Kristian ain't letting Patrick go. Like we always talk about how hard a man Lionel is. Kristian is fucking tough as nails. The other huge unknown is the Gustav factor. Like Gustav could also win this thing.
Yeah, we discussed that as well. And
So,
I said to Lizzie in the main body of the episode, I think if Gustav were to win, I might cry.
oh man, fucking love to see that so much. The
Mm.
year that guy's had, or a couple of years that guy's had. Yeah, to be Casper Storn is another one we shouldn't sleep on. Man, there's
Yeah, no,
actually
totally.
yeah some good guys racing this. Anyway, Jimbo, if people want to find out more about Talking
Oh,
Triathlon, where do they
shit.
need to go?
I don't know.
If you want to find out
Um,
more, head to patreon.com forward
If you
slash
want to
talking track.
find out more about this podcast, then support the show. Jump on at patreon.com// talking triathlon. If you want to follow Tim, he's at tford14 on Instagram, and I'm at bale.james85 on Instagram. We are on Instagram as at talking triathlon. And if you join the Patreon group, you'll get access to the monthly bonus episodes and the social group. And we'll put you in the WhatsApp group, which is going to be on fire this coming weekend as the watching party plays out across the globe. And that's the beauty of the WhatsApp group is you've got all manner of people from all manner of places, all loving and enjoying the same sport. But if you're not a patron and you're not in the WhatsApp group and you want to leave a comment, then do that on YouTube because we're more than likely to see it there.
I just like everybody to know he's done that like 100 times and still has no fucking idea what he
I'm
has
really
to say.
bad at remembering what I meant to say. I'm not very good at scripting things, mate. I can. Oh, and what was I going to say? Yeah, my thing was last weekend, this weekend just gone. I did something for the first time ever. I watched the World Long Distance Duathlon Championships, and one of our patrons, Rachel Brown, got the silver medal, came second, and is now the Vice World Long Distance Duathlon Champion. And she did that in Zoffingham. So I wanted to say a big talking triathlon, well done.
Absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't know why to join the Patreon. That's why, because you get to be in the same group as a
To
vice
hang
world
out with
champion.
royalty, motherfucker.
I know. Well, and obviously James Bale. So,
And me. Yeah.
and you, Jimbo, I don't know what we're doing next week. There might not be an episode next week. Who knows? We'll find out because I'm in Europe. But guys, thank you very much. Talk to you later.
Cheerio.